Promotion relegation, USA Soccer is not feasible yet. We just can't pull it off right now in 2018. Well, that's the claim of some, and it's just completely false. We can make this happen whenever we want. We can pull the trigger whenever. It comes down to an executive decision from our American Soccer Governing Federation. Currently, that is USSF, the U.S. Soccer Federation. And yes, will there be some transition time between the announcement and the actual 100% opening of the USA Soccer system from top to bottom? Yes, of course. The announcement has to come first, then the market will mobilize, or all the clubs and constituents in American soccer will mobilize and prepare for the forthcoming opening of the system. You can't just expect American soccer constituents to start building and investing when they don't even know if there's going to be an actual opening of the USA Soccer pyramid. And that's what people are asking for when they say, oh, we're just not there yet. We need everyone to keep building. And again, there is no point in investing in an industry when the top of that industry is blocked off for a privileged few. So no matter how excellent you are, how much money and time and effort you pour into something, you will not get rewarded with top spot in the marketplace. So people putting the cart before the horse, asking everybody to build and invest before they have a fair shot is just ludicrous. And the path to getting to a 100% open USA Soccer system is very, very easy because it really just comes down to, like I mentioned earlier, that executive decision from an American Soccer Governing Federation. If our current governing federation won't step up and make the right decision, do the right thing, then we can have FIFA come in and either force that current federation to follow through or pull the current U.S. Soccer Federation's sanctioning and give it to a new American Soccer Federation, which can be pulled together in a matter of weeks. So the idea that we need time to get to a point where we're ready to open the American Soccer pyramid is just plain bogus. We have all the tools here needed to open the market for all, to include all people, all communities in the American soccer ecosystem. The only thing we're missing is just that willingness as a population in general to put pressure on our federation to do this. And of course, our federation itself should be responsible for doing this, even without massive public pressure for reform. So what it really boils down to is just a U.S. Soccer Governing Federation, which is not doing its job, which is to serve all people, all constituents in the American soccer ecosystem, and to open the market, give everybody a fair shot, not guaranteeing any outcomes for anyone, not guaranteeing any profits, but giving everyone a fair shot at profits so they can earn their way into those profits through merit and through excellence on the field and as a club around the field. And then from there, just regulate things so that the market stays fair and open, so that there isn't collusion or corruption inside of the market. And that's all a U.S. Soccer Federation needs to do, whether it be this current USSF or an alternate federation that takes its place. So in an America where we have all the ingredients we need to be a massive soccer nation, we are a big soccer nation already. We just haven't pulled things together in our domestic game, our domestic system. We are flooding to foreign soccer overseas on television and with attendance numbers for foreign friendlies here in the States, for web search numbers. We love the real version of soccer. There's a giant soccer first demographic here in America. It is a major sport, and you'll see more evidence of that with the 2018 World Cup coming this summer. And of course, we have everything else we need in terms of travel, infrastructure, financial resources, investors. America is number one in the world in all of those areas. And then you couple that with a stat I mentioned over and over that America has 25 million soccer players estimated. Even if that stat is off by a few million, even by like 5 million, it is still a gigantic slice of our population that are soccer players. And that's not even covering soccer fans total. So all the ingredients are there. All we need is for the U.S. Soccer Governing Federation to come in and reform our system, just make one executive order saying, hey, in 5 years, 3 to 5 years, whatever the transition period is going to be, we are going to open the system from top to bottom. We're going to start filling from the top down. So if MLS, if it wants to participate and keep the U.S. Soccer Division I sanction, it'll be our Division I, and then we'll fill up with USL as Division II and break down from there, and just during the transition period, keep filling out down to the bottom. And of course, it can divide up into more regionalized leagues and state leagues as you get lower to alleviate travel costs and financial constraints even more. It's really, really not hard at all to get to a point after that 3 to 5 year transition period where we do open the system and say, yes, now we are open. Any club, any person at the bottom tier can jump in and can build a club up to the first division and into international and regional FIFA competitions. There are really no sticking points whatsoever. And then we can go into you can publish prerequisites for each division. So, as you get into higher divisions, you can have reasonable stadium prerequisites and financial prerequisites and everything you need to, ensure general division stability. Don't make it too high. Make it reasonable, something that is accessible as a team moves up and gains profits. But you can also just set it up in a way that gives a safety net of stability. And of course, open systems have never collapsed. An open system has never collapsed in world history. So even by default, there isn't a lot of instability inherently by an open system. And then you can put in more safeguards beyond that. And then, of course, parachute payments. As you get better TV deals with more interest and investment in our higher divisions, more than 7% of our American soccer population will actually pay attention to our domestic soccer game. Unlike MLS, which only captures 7% of America's soccer demographic. We'll have better TV deals, and then clubs will be able to profit more because of that. TV deals and TV ratings are generally the king right now. TV ratings and digital. So any sticking point can be easily addressed. We're talking about a nation here in America that's sending satellites to the edge of the solar system and has sent a man to the moon. I mean, what you think this is too hard for us to overcome? I don't think so. The only issue is we don't have a U.S. Soccer Federation that is willing to do its job and do the right thing, and that's where the buck stops here. It all comes down to our governing body. We need to either get new people in charge, get soccer people in charge in our governing federation, or we need to set up an alternate federation and get FIFA to sanction that instead of this one, which looks like it's only doing the work of MLS and its shareholders when it should be advocating and building for all people and clubs in American soccer. So don't listen to the myth that we aren't ready yet. The only thing we're not ready for the only thing that is not ready is our governing soccer federation, which continues to put its foot down and will not align with the essence of global soccer, which is equality and opportunity for all. And governing federations like that don't need to be in charge of our divisional sanctions. MLS, a league, it's kind of squats in Division I and excludes everyone else. They don't need to have a Division I sanction to run soccer the way they do. They can go off on their own and run it however they want. But divisional sanctions are for the FIFA-mandated merit-based competition only. So let's reserve our divisional sanctions for open leagues that do want to align with the essence of soccer, equality and opportunity for all. So if you like this video, make sure to share it out across social media. Also subscribe, right here to my channel, and I'll talk to you soon.